Made this bass guitar uh, back in school. I think I was in year 11 woodwork when I made this. Um, it's a rosewood fretboard there with no frets, obviously. It was all handmade, all hand carved. So back when I was doing woodwork, I really had no clues what I was doing. There was no internet back then. I just figured I'd do my best to make a guitar. I think the wood is teak from memory, and yeah, so I hand carved all this. Again, not knowing what I was doing. I think I might have taken some measurements off of a guitar in a music shop. I knew there was something down the centre of the guitar to strengthen up the neck. Well, I thought it was to strengthen the neck, but it turns out it's to just keep the neck straight if it bows your truss rod. I didn't have one of those, so underneath here, I don't know if you can see it. You can't see it. When I was making it, I cut a groove down the middle and I put a steel rod basically from here to here underneath there, and I think I arrowdieted it in. So the neck, but it doesn't move. It hasn't moved in years. I think I made it 35 years ago, I said, so it's been dead straight ever since. And I've decided I'm going to try have a go at putting some frets on it. So I've used a fret calculator. It's basically 800 mil from the bridge to the nut there. And before I actually decided, I just put some marks here to mark out where the frets would be. But I'm going to use my CNC machine to mill them in. But then I thought, I wouldn't mind having a go at making a guitar as well. So one of the steps of putting a guitar is putting a radius on the fretboard here. So I thought I'll do that as well. This is just a flat one. Through my reading, I found out on bass guitars, some people like them flat, and I think I don't think there's a set rule, but I think I'm going to do a 22mm radius on this one. So that'll be my first job once I'm ready to cut it. But in the meantime, I've got this piece of old pine here, just a shitty old bit of wood that a friend pulled off a wall. It's all split and cracked. That I'm going to started to cut up, and luckily I didn't cut it too short. So I'm going to have a go at milling a neck on my CNC machine out of this bit of wood here. I'll draw something up in CAD, and we'll mill it. And then that'll be the first part of, I guess, my experimenting to see if I can make a guitar using a CNC machine. And then if that works out all well, I might have a go at a body. And then I'll get some decent wood. And I'm thinking I might actually make a one-piece neck and body guitar and then put a fretboard on top. So that's the plan. But this was not too bad for a guitar made in 1985, I believe. Yeah, so it's still in one piece. It still works. Can't play it very well, but yeah, I made a guitar. Okay, I'm going to attempt to mill 150 mils of fretboard as a test. I'm just using some spotted gum, some old decking wood that I had lying around the place. I'm doing it from the nut end, and I think it's about 41mm across from memory. So we'll see how we go, and then if that works successfully, I've got no idea how spotted gum's going to cut with my bit there. No idea the speed, so it's just going to go. It's going to cut fast, but it's going to take very small steps and go on very shallow cuts. So first thing we'll do is we'll just get this tool zero to the top of the job. So we use our auto zero tool. I hit that. I'm going to touch the job to get it started there. Okay, so that's zeroed. We'll move that out of the way. Okay, first thing we'll do is get this spindle fired up. Running it at 24,000 RPM, nice and quick. Alrighty. Start cycle with my finger on the stop button. Probably could be cutting a little deeper than this. barely scratching the surface, if at all. Alright, we'll leave that going for a bit and come back and see how it's done in a little while. Okay, so we're just finishing up the roughing pass. I could have gone a lot more aggressive. It's just doing the smallest of increments. I think I'm doing like 10% of the bit width, only a 1/4 inch bit, so it's pretty small. Now we started the finishing pass. Might try cut some of the fret slots next, see if we can get some slots in there. I did order a bunch of 0.5mm bits online, and I ordered 3 of them because I figure I'd maybe break 1 or 2 of them in the process. And the seller stuck them in a plastic bag and sent them through the post with no protection at all. And all 3 of them arrived broken. They offered me a 80% refund. And I said, no, I want the whole lot back, thanks. You guys stuffed up your postage. So they have agreed to refund me, as they should. I started it again and made the step over a bit bigger. It was ridiculously small. So it's cutting beautifully. Doesn't even need sanding, it's so smooth. So after I've finished this, I'll have a go at putting some fret slots in it with one of my broken bits. I think it's long enough to get a millimetre down or so we'll see what happens. So it's just finished cutting. That is absolutely smooth. Nothing required there. No sanding. So that is not too bad. Of course, I would cut down past. I'd probably trim up the board first to make sure it's the right thickness before I did any of this. And then the final pass, I'd cut around the outside of it, leaving some tabs at the end there to hold it in place. So then you just pop it out of the spotted gum and then just clean it up just by hand. Anyway. Part A worked very well. I'm more confident with doing the neck on my bass guitar now, with that working so well. So I've just paused this. Seems to be working alright. It's cutting some nice fret slots there, so I'll fire it up just so you can see it working away. And my son is taking the time to draw up the plans for the guitar that he wants me to build for him. He wants me to build him a smaller one because he's only 8 years old. So wood. Oh yeah, that's the head bit. There's the fretboard. Yeah, this bit is for there. Okay, all right, mate. I reckon we can use these plans to build your guitar. All right. No worries, Mitch. Looks good. Okay, we just turn the spindle back on. I shall hit continue. It doesn't go all the way to the end. Just stopping shy of the edge of the fret. Edge of the fretboard there. I'm not running it very fast, as I didn't know if this bit, or what's left of the bit, would stand up to it. It's cutting down 2mm. It's a 0.5mm bit. I think this should work fine for my next build. I wonder how a spotted gum guitar would go. So what I've done with this one is I got onto a fret calculator. I'm hoping to build a sort of not a replica, but a sort of a tribute to the Brian May guitar. I've drawn it up in CAD. So this fretboard would have 24 frets on it, and is for a scale of 110mm. But I figure I could probably make a fretboard any side now. So if anyone needs a custom fretboard, I reckon I could do it. Picked up these frets a little while back. I was going to use them on the bass guitar. Curve doesn't quite match what I put in this one. So this was, I think, a 9.5-inch radius. I just pushed it in with a block of wood and then tried to press it at the sides, which is kind of lifting a bit. So I need to sort of do some more research into how that works, but the slot seemed to be okay. So the slot's not the issue. It pushed in there quite tightly. Yeah, so there we go.